Okay, I'm gonna go share the video link on another page real quick. But I am back. Um, Sorry for being just a smidge late. I was talking to somebody. I am going to give this just 1 minute, see if anybody else wants to pop on. I'm going to tell you what you see behind me, kind of. This probably needs to be a little bit bigger, or I could probably actually sit a little bit shorter. But this is for those of you who may have to work with kids around and you need to make this space and say, hey, mama's working, leave me alone. This is actually a wooden screen thing that my husband built. You can totally get one that's way lighter weight. Maybe do wood frame, a fabric in between, something. But Joseph made me this so I could pull it over, and this is mommy's office, and the kids know that they can't come in. You can't tell, but over here, I mean, that's looking into my den. You can see my TV if it was on. He's actually got everybody trapped up in the bedroom. But they can't walk through that space. So it's kind of nice. I don't utilize it nearly as much as sorry, I've got stupid stuff coming out on the screen. I don't utilize it nearly as much as I should, but sorry, I saw something weird and I was afraid it was muted. I don't use it as much as I should. Granted, I do most of my work now when the kids are in school, but we've also had the issue with my cat likes to jump on it, and if she jumps too hard off of it, she knocks it over and it's hitting me in the head more than once. So she is also shut up in the bedroom with the family tonight. So that's kind of crazy, but I've kind of decorated it. We've talked about what we're going to do with it. I don't have the purpose for it as much anymore since my kids are both in school now, so I can work during the day when they're there. So I don't even know that I'm going to keep it. But for any of you that are working your business in a common area and you need something to divide your space to say, hey, this is my time when you need to leave me alone for whatever your office hour or office time is, let them be a visual cue. I've often thought about decorating the other side and put on it that go away. It's something nice. Mama's working. Mama's trying to earn your whatever we're trying to earn. We haven't done our dream board this year. We're going to do that soon, I hope. But it's been kind of a crazy time. The next 2 weeks are going to be even worse. But it is what it is. And it's kind of scuffed. You can see where it fell. But I've got it decorated a little bit. The sun down there says dream big. And then the rainbow one right behind me says amazing things happen here. So, all right. I was late posting the link, so I'm sure everybody was busy tonight. Probably had kids at home and you're trying to hustle them off to bed and whatnot. Totally fine. This is going to be recorded and it will be posted into our group Facebook page as a unit. So anybody can look at the link and do this training anytime you want to. My name is Heather Pratt. I have been with Scentsy for a little over 8 years as of the recording of this video. And I love it. I am actually was struggling this month because I'm not getting to work my business as much as I normally do, and I think it's making me sad. I started doing this training, I guess it's been a couple of years ago, because it's really for newer consultants, but as I tell everybody every time, it's really a good relaunch for anybody that hits a rut or they're on the struggle bus and they really don't know what to do next or where to go next. But I've created the content really for people who are right at or just past those first 70 days. In the first 70 days, Scentsy gives us these milestones to hit. Your first goal is shooting star to get that first 500. If you do it in 15 days or less, then you get the shooting star achievement. I guess I could have showed you my charm for that, but you're probably watching this past that point. But you got that shooting star first 500. Then you got, try to get certified so you get your promotion up to 25% commission. And then you got the first 70-day sensational start goals that are set forth all by Scentsy. They're great. They kind of guide you where you should go in launching this business as far as getting PRV, getting your sales, and possibly even recruiting. But then you get past that 70 days and, the next big deals. Maybe you've gotten 2,000 in sales as a sales thing. Maybe that's your thing. Maybe it's not. But the milestones and the markers aren't quite so short term. One of the big next ones is 10,000 lifetime PRV. I'm not even going to tell y'all how long it took me to get my first 10,000 charm. But it's, you know, it's just kind of this gap. And what am I supposed to do next? I've shared Scentsy with all of my family, all of my coworkers. I've had a lunch party. Maybe I've had a couple of other parties. And I don't really know what to do next. So that's why I decided to do this training. I've done it several times at this point in the 2 years. I've probably done it, I say several, probably 4 or 5 times. And we're going to do it again tonight. And I hope this helps some of you, whether you are here because you are relatively new as a Scentsy consultant within your first 6 months, or you've been around for 6 years and you're just ready to reboot your business, try something different. Maybe you've had a life change and you want something more out of it. Or maybe you're just wanting to up your paycheck a little bit and you need some fresh ideas. You want a little bit more PRV than what you're getting right now, and you're just looking for some ideas. All right, let's get started. And yes, I have notes, so I'll look down fairly often to make sure I stay on track. I'm really going to try to keep this to an hour or less. So first of all, like I said, you have probably shared your business. You have shared the catalog. You have shared your testers with your most intimate circle, your family, your friends, your coworkers. So how do you get beyond that? Because I am here to tell you that your most closest circle is not going to be your long-term sustainable bread and butter in this business. Yeah, they can do you a solid and book your parties to get you started. They can order from you from the get-go to help you hit those first milestones. They may fall in love with the product. They may even join your team. But the real root of this business is a network marketing business, so you need to get out and meet more people. So how do you do that? Number one way is having parties. Hopefully those friends, family, coworkers are willing to have a party for you and invite people you don't know. That's a great way to do it. Party playing business works perfectly. I know this day and age, everybody is super busy. Sometimes it's hard to get people to say yes to those parties. Doesn't mean you stop asking. Keep asking. Eventually somebody's going to say yes and introduce you to some new people, whether it's just to a fundraiser or an online party or just a sip and sip, maybe even at Starbucks or your favorite coffee house or what have you. Don't give up on the parties. Don't stop asking, because I'm telling you, if you can get your foot in the door and get one party and you can book one off of that, maybe 2 off of this one and 1 off of that one and 3, your business is going to explode in ways you never even imagined. So don't give up on those. But if that's a struggle for you, let's think about some other ways to work on meeting new people. One of the first things I wrote down is branding. Kind of hard for you guys to see, but I'm actually wearing a Scentsy shirt. This is from a couple years ago. We had a January event called World Premiere. It was almost exactly 2 years ago, actually. Joseph and I went to Oklahoma City for that one. I have a lot of branding. I have a lot of shirts I bought. Again, I've been doing this for 8 years. I have hats, I have dresses, I have shirts, I have sweatpants, I have caps. I say I have purses, I have tote bags. You name it, I probably have it with a Scentsy logo on it. I am not saying go out and spend a whole bunch of money on Scentsy stuff. There are things in the Scentsy family store. Let me see if I can grab one out of this drawer here. This is something you can put on your car. I don't know if they have ones that look just like this anymore or not, but these are things you can put on your car. It's a Scentsy Independent Consultant. I would be willing to bet that there are some of you out there who have crickets or silhouettes or cameos or something along those lines, and you could make your own shirts or your tote or something or another. Do that. Wear it when you get an opportunity. I get you got a dress code at work. I'm talking about the weekends when you're taking your kids to practice, you're going to the gym, going to church, wherever you go, put a little something on that's branding, even if it's just as simple as a cup. I mean, this is an Indiana Colts cup. I don't have any of my Scentsy cups here real handy, but I have those too. So think about getting something branded, even if it's just one investment. If it's one investment, I love the idea of a purse, a cup, or a cap. because those are things that you can easily carry day in and day out, even if you're going to the office or wherever you work. You know, a lot of people take their drinks with them in a cup. Some places aren't going to let you carry a cap, but if you're a woman, you're more than likely going to be carrying a purse where you go. I've got 2 or 3 options for Scentsy purses. I told you I've been doing this for a while and I have a shopping. So branding is important. And it gets your name out there. I do it all the time. I'm not going to say I've had a ton of people talk to me because of my branding, but I have had some people, you know, what is Scentsy? You know, I love your cap. Oh, thanks. You know, it can be that conversation starter if it's really hard for you to start that conversation on your own. Another option is samples. I have some laying here that I made for this month's scent of the month, which was strawberries, champagne truffle. That's really good, by the way. This is literally a circle of felt, a teeny tiny little bag. I bought it at Walmart. There's a pack of 200 of them, and the stickers that you can get in the family store, they also come in the scent of the month kit. The circles, Joseph ordered them either off of AliExpress or Wish.com, and I have a bag full of them that he got for super cheap. Love them. But it's just, it doesn't have to, a sample doesn't have to be something they can use. It's really just for them to smell it. Now, if you have hand cream, if you want to go to the nines and make hand cream samples or laundry samples, or you want, they used to sell those in the family store, and they're going to do it again soon, I think. If you want to go that far, go that far. If you want to melt down bars and make little mini testers to give to people, or little samples that way to give to people. I'm looking to see if I have any handy, and I don't. But if you want to go that far, that's fine. The point of it is, you know, handing somebody a little happy treat, you know, and do it as a challenge. I am wearing a gray shirt today. I'm going to challenge myself to find 5 other people wearing a gray shirt and just walk up to them and say, I have been challenged to hand a sample out to 5 people I see wearing the same shirt I am today. I hope this brings you some joy. It smells great. Have a wonderful day. Thanks for helping me meet my challenge. I'll be dead honest. That is so far beyond my comfort zone. I don't know if I could do it. I don't know. I really don't know if I could do it. And that's probably why I probably need to do it. I need to try to do that whenever I'm in a place where I can go shopping again. But yeah, I mean, that's a way to do it. Some people, it's as natural as breathing to talk to the person behind them in line at the grocery store or Target or the treadmill next to them at the gym or whatever. And, you know, conversation, what do you do? I'm a Scentsy consultant. Make sure you're adding that in your introductory speech of who you are. Don't just say, hey, Morgan. Don't just say that you know, work as a nurse. Don't forget to also include your Scentsy business when you're meeting people. Introduce yourself as that part of it. And they ask you what Scentsy is. Again, it's a conversation starter. Oh, let me give you a sample. Ideally, if you're giving out samples, you're going to get some information back from those people as well. So you can share that.
Hello.
So you can follow up with them later on. Maven is a great app. It's free for the first 30 days, but it's a real quick way to gather information. The other thing you can do, carry a notebook around with you. Ask them just to write their name and phone number on there. Ask if you don't mind, hey, would you give me your name and phone number so I can follow up with you in a couple of weeks, see what you thought of that scent, that sort of thing. I know it's hard. That's way outside of a lot of people's comfort zone. If it's go for it, I give you great kudos for going for that one. Other ways to move beyond friends and family, events. I do vendor events. That's kind of my bread and butter. That's how I meet new people all the time. I thoroughly enjoy them. I am a natural introvert. I did my first event 5 years ago, scared absolutely to death. Thought it was going to kill me doing the prep work, and actually going to the event and having to talk to people all day long for 2 days. And I came home from it like, I loved that. That was so much fun. And it was the food brand that Scentsy had back then. So it was way easier than I expected because people are looking at your booth. It's boom, the conversation starters right there. I can jump into that, no problem. So those are really my bread and butter. I do several a year, thoroughly enjoy doing them. You do not have to have stock to do an event. You can totally take starter kit and do orders at events. I know Morgan does them. She and I do them together sometimes. We did the Women's Living Expo a couple of weeks ago. It was me and Morgan and Megan Young. Trina was in our other business booth down the hall, but she was there to help us. But I love doing events. Those are my thing. And my advice to you is don't go for the expensive ones right off the bat like I did. Find just some $40 or $50, maybe even $20. You can even find free ones where all they ask you to do is donate something for their basket. I'm telling you, I have probably done my best business at little bitty church bazaar kind of events. They're the least expensive, but they're usually a lot of fun. The people are usually really engaged, really nice. But the smaller, like I said, church bazaar, community events, school fundraisers, that sort of thing. Those are really good events to get involved with off the bat when it's a little bit cheaper. But like I said, you can use your starter kit, take orders. If events is something you know you want to get into in the future, I knew that going forward. I don't have a huge circle of friends, so I decided pretty early on that I wanted to eventually get into events. Remember when I introduced myself, I said I've been doing this 8 years, and my first event was 5 years ago. So yeah, I probably decided the first year events was the path I wanted to take, and it still took me another 3 years to get up the courage to do it. But I did it. But if you want to build up stock, use those free and half price stuff to get them, so you're not paying out full price from the get-go. That's what I did. Most of what I have in stock is stuff that I have used for when I put in party orders. I make sure I get the stuff that we use as a family, and then the next thing I do is I use it to buy stuff for events. So I don't pay full price for it, so I'm making a better profit off of that. And I'm lousy as I'll get out tracking that, but it's what I do. Another thing, events, going back to the friends and family, the customers you've already established in your first 2 or 3 months, ask them for referrals. Say, hey, if you enjoy what you bought from me, share it with a friend. If you know a friend looking for Scentsy, send them my way. If you have somebody who loves candles, send them my way. Would you mind having a catalog or two or business card or two at your desk? And send referrals. You can even create a referral program if you want to. Absolutely not required. If it doesn't fit your budget, by all means, don't do that. But you can do a referral program. I've done one in the past where if somebody refers a customer to me who places a $20 or more order, I'll send them a scent circle. If they refer somebody to me who books a party, I will give them like a free bar. If they refer somebody to me who joins my team, they get a free warmer. And you can absolutely say that's a $20 warmer, or you can absolutely say it's something in your stock, or however you want to handle that that's the most economical for you. But referral programs are kind of fun. They're a good way to get your friends, family, coworkers, or people who have all the Scentsy they need right now, but are willing to share your name and contact information with the people in their circle, even if they don't want to host a party. All right, so that's a lot about moving beyond friends and family, but honestly, I think that is one of the biggest roadblocks for most new consultants is everybody I know already has it or they don't want it. That means it's time to meet new people, and you have to figure out the best way to meet new people that works for you and your family. You know, I know people who will not do events because most events are on weekends, and weekends are for family, period. So they don't do the events. That's okay. And that's one of the beauties of this business is that we get to make those decisions. But at the same time, you can't be making those decisions, say, well, I refuse to do events because that's family time, but I'm at a stone wall because I can't sell to anybody because everybody I know already has it. You've got to find a way that works well for you, but also grows your business. And that can be difficult. That can be tricky. You want to throw out all of those excuses You know, maybe it's like, okay, I'm willing to give 1 weekend a month to my business. The other 3 are for family. I think that's fair. I think that's more than fair, especially if you have big dreams and big goals that your family gets to be involved in. And that's kind of what we do. We have family goals that are related to our business. So that means they've got to sacrifice a little bit too. They can do it, I promise. For me, since it's kind of my happy place, so I not that I don't love my family, but I'm also a full-time mom and wife, and I'm at home, so it feels good to me to go out and work an event on a weekend to kind of be me and do my own thing. I was kind of really looking forward to this afternoon as it got closer, because I need to do some work, and I've got this thing that I get to do, and this is one of my favorite things to do, is talk to people, especially new consultants, to train them, teach them the best way to run their business. Not saying I'm an expert by any means, but I have been around for 8 years, so I know a few things. So move beyond those friends and family. Don't be afraid. I mean, honestly, I did a challenge years ago that was handing out the stuff. I made the goal, I'm going to hand out a sample to everybody that smiles back at me at Hobby Lobby. I am not kidding you. I had like one lady who smiled back at me when I gave her the sample. She looked at me like I had 3 heads. And I'm like, okay, I'm done. I'm out. This is not my cup of tea. I can't do this. And in truth, I should have just okay, that one didn't go so well. Let's go find somebody else. But I didn't. I chickened out and ran away. Don't be me. Don't chicken out and run away. Meet those new people. All right, let's go beyond that. You guys know, if you have any questions, you want to talk more about that, feel free to sign up for a one-on-one with me. Talk to your sponsor if I'm not your sponsor. We're always here to have conversations outside of training as well. So feel free to reach out if you want to brainstorm a little bit more on the getting beyond that inner circle. Let's talk a little bit about organization. Okay, so is January the perfect time to be doing this or what? So I am recording this in January. You may be watching it in hot, sticky July. Who knows? But organization is a really critical part of owning a business. Number one, you own a business, which means you have to file taxes because you're making an income. So you need to be able to keep track of that kind of stuff, right? There's actually a few things you got to keep track of if you want to do this business well. So I recommend a system. My pastor is actually doing a series right now at church called Habits. If habits is the thing that you struggle with, I recommend you go to life.church.com, and it's life.church.org, and find their habits message series and watch it. It's gold. I'm telling you, it is gold. This weekend he talked a lot about systems, or not a lot, but one of the first things is basically setting systems in place for success. And I was like, yes, I talk about systems all the time because I love me some systems. Just follow them the best way that I should, but I love the whole idea because when I do follow my systems, they work almost flawlessly. They're not perfect, but they're almost flawless. The number one thing about systems is that you have to find the one that works the best for your personality. So let me talk to you first about what you need systems for, and then we can talk a little bit about different types of systems. Okay, so things you need to keep track of is customers and what they order for being able to do follow-up. So you follow up, provide good customer service to those who order from you. You need to keep track of your expenses. Whenever you spend money related to your business, whether it's the Scent Warmer of the Month Club, it's mileage to get to and from events and parties, it is having coffee with a potential new team member, buying snacks and drinks for a party or an open house or a training, any of that kind of stuff, that is receipts you need to keep track of because those are tax deductions. The other thing you need to keep track of is tasks. What do you need to do every day? What do you need to do every week? What do you need to do every month to run your business effectively? And then customer info. The customer info kind of ties in with follow-up, so we're going to get around to doing that last. Expenses. Again, it's one of those things the government wants their take of the commissions that you get. If you get $600 or more in commissions, you will get a 1099 from Scentsy in January of the following year, and you have to claim that. I mean, you have to claim it whether if it's under 600, but Scentsy tracks it and gives you a sheet of paper on our account tab to download and print for your tax purposes. So you need to keep track of your expenses. Mileage is a big one for me. I do a lot of deliveries, so that's really important. I am old school. I have a little notebook in my car and a pen, and I literally write it down. Today's date, where my odometer started, where it ended, and what I did. I tried, there's an app called Mile IQ that I know a lot of people really enjoy. I did not. I didn't like it. I'm not a techno person. If you're a techno phone, Google calendars, everything, this is my life, you know, like the old Blackberries, Palm Pilots. Y'all may not be old enough to remember those, but if that is you, if you are a digital person, Mile IQ might be for you. There are other apps out there that you can use for the same purpose. I'm old school. I am pen and paper. Now, I do take the pen and paper and I put it on an Excel spreadsheet every month. And that's where I keep track of a lot of stuff. Excel is kind of my friend. We talked about what kinds of expenses, anything related to your business. Believe it or not, you can actually claim part of your mortgage insurance, part of your utilities, your phone bill, your internet bill, anything you use for business. You can actually claim a portion of it for your taxes. I recommend having a space in your home set aside, hint, hint, wink, wink, for your business, because it sure makes that a lot easier come tax time. I'm not going to give you any tax advice because that is not my area of expertise, but keep track of those expenses, whether it's, writing it all down by hand. You look on YouTube, you can probably look on the training center on the workstation, and then we'll give you some suggestions. I use an Excel spreadsheet. I have a box right up there, and that is where I put all of my receipts, and periodically I pull the box down, I log all of the receipts into this spreadsheet, and then I have a monthly envelope. So I'll write January, and then at the end of the year I put the little envelopes into a bigger envelope that'll say 2018 or 2019 or whatever year it's for, and that's my receipts that I have logged on an Excel spreadsheet. And if you're interested in the spreadsheet that I use, I think the one I used to use is uploaded, and I'm pretty sure I uploaded the other one last year onto our group page. If you're not on the Possible Unstoppable Stars page and you want to see that, let me know and I can add you to the Facebook page, group, whatever it is, or I can email that to you as well. But Excel is my thing. Again, maybe you have one of those neat machines that you can scan everything into, or you've got an app on your phone, that you use to keep that track of expenses. That's fine. Whatever works for you. The only system that's going to work is the one you're willing to use. Tasks. There are 1,000,001 ways to keep track of your tasks and to determine what your tasks are. As a newer consultant, your task list is probably a whole lot shorter than my task list. As of this recording, I am a leader of a group of 39 individuals, including myself, but not counting spouses that help with business. And I have to do, regular contact with people. I do trainings. I do team lives, all of this stuff. Love it all. Not trying to complain. I'm just saying I've got a few more balls in the air that I'm juggling than you might be. You might just need to say, I need to work on getting some sales. I need to work on talking to new people about this business opportunity. I need to work on getting more parties booked. So your system's going to be a little bit different than mine, or it could be the same system. One of my favorite things to talk about is scalable systems. Christina Stainbrook has a really great training on those on YouTube. You can find her YouTube channel and do that, and she's so awesome. She actually shares her forms that she uses, and it's pretty fantastic because the idea behind a scalable system is that it's a system that you can use when you are a team of one, myself, or you are a team of thousands. You can keep using the same system over and over and over again. And consistency, I'm telling you, consistency is the key to success in this business. If you've been around long enough and paid any kind of attention on the group page, you will see that I always recognize consistency in this business because it's so, so important. My pastor says, successful people do consistency, what other people only do occasionally. And it's so true. You have to be consistent in doing all of the things. I actually switched systems a few months ago. I'm using a traveler's notebook, and I have a daily, I have a weekly, I have a monthly, and then I have a big project. And that's what I use. I've also used binder systems. I have an agenda, a planner. Again, I am a pen and paper person, so that works for me. Maybe you are a Google Calendar person or notes, or I don't even know what all is out there because it's not me. But maybe there's a digital system that you want to use. Maybe it's something you want to just track on your computer. Whatever works, do it. If you need help coming up with what needs to go on that list, that's an entirely different training, but I am more than willing to talk to you guys about that, help you with it, help to get it going. But really, at the end of the day, what needs to be part of your system is what you need to do daily, what you need to do weekly, and what you need to do monthly to consistently be meeting your sales goals, meeting your party goals, and meeting your recruiting goals, whatever those might be. Some of you may not be looking to build a team, so maybe you're only focusing on those first two. But if you don't do the work toward having the sales or booking the parties, and when I say booking parties, I mean everything from online Facebook, online only, fundraisers, in person, sip and snips, open houses, whatever. All of that counts, but just the ways to generate PRV and income. So that's what your system needs to include for that. The other thing is tracking customer info and doing follow-up. I used to do a spreadsheet. Everybody that ordered, I would put in the date they ordered, their name, and what they ordered. I was lousy at keeping that thing up to date, and it would take me hours to update it. But it came in so handy when I was needing to do follow-up for a promotion like Bring Back My Bar, or when things were discontinuing, or things came back. It was such a help. Well, now I am coming around to the digital age, and I'm trusting Maven. Maven is an app that Scentsy introduced to us early summer, late spring, early summer, and I really just do whatever it tells me to do. That is my customer tracking, and that is my follow-up system. And I love it because this thing goes with me everywhere I go, so I can do follow-up in the car line, and I don't have to remember to grab anything from the house, and it's pretty awesome. If you're more of a pen and paper, you can create binders. I've done binders too. I had a follow-up binder this time last year that I adored. I thought it was the best thing to slice bread. Used it all the time. Did a presentation about using it at World Tour last year. And then they did Maven, and I've abandoned the whole thing. But it's still a great system. Again, it's whatever suits your personality, whether you are a pen and paper person or you're a digital person. Find the way that works best for your personality, because the only system that's going to work is the one you're going to use. So again, we could do details about all of that stuff, but as a newer consultant, that was one of the things I wished I had known. I wished somebody had told me from the get-go that I had to track my expenses, that I had to track, or I needed to keep track of customers, that I needed to follow up with my customers and see how they liked their product and ask them if they needed more. Just assume if they need more, they're going to come to me. There's no telling how much sales I missed in the first 3 years in this business because I wasn't doing follow-up. And now, honest to goodness, follow-up is, you know, it's right up there. Events and follow-up for my bread and butter. That's how I make my living. I actually do a VIP group. That's kind of sort of part of my follow-up. 3 months after they order, they get one of these in the mail with a, hey, enjoy that. So those are the 4 things you need to keep track of. Customer info just kind of goes in with the follow-up. So if you want to track it separately, if you don't, it's fine. And kind of this role, the customer info rolls out, you're sitting there telling me, but Heather, all that information is in the workstation because that's where I place my orders. It is. But up until recently, and even now it's not anywhere near perfect, the contacts tab and reporting off of that stuff is not the best. I mean, they've gotten to where they're giving us some reports. They're getting better. They're working on it. I know it's one of their priorities. But honestly, you need to keep track of that information yourself, um, because what's on the workstation just doesn't quite cut it just yet. And the other thing is, if you're keeping track of customer info, one of the things I know some people do is they keep track of birthdays when they can. They keep track of when they last ordered, what their favorite scents are. Those little bitty tiny pieces that make somebody feel extra special when you reach out to them, being able to say, hey, that scent that you ordered 7-8 months ago is being discontinued. Would you like it? Or, this scent that you ordered 3 years ago is back. Would you like to get some more? It comes in really handy. And that is one element that Maven does not give me. To bring back my bar reports do give me that. But if I'm wanting to do it on my own, then I need to generate it. So I've got a year's worth of customer info to update on Excel spreadsheet. May or may not happen, but it's an added way to be really intentional with your contact with your customers. Learning is a very critical part of running a business. For me, there are two things that are my absolute favorite. Well, yeah. Best things about this business for me. Number one is the people and the relationships. I have such good relationships with my group members, with people that I work with at events, because I work with some of them repeatedly, and my customers, and other Scentsy sisters and misters across the world, because in 8 years I've met a lot of people. And I love it. Relationships is my fave. Second thing is personal development. I am not the same person I was 8 years, and not just because I'm 8 years older. I have another child. I'm really just not the same person. I told you guys it took me 3 years to decide, hey, I want to do events, to actually doing one. Building that confidence, building that self-esteem, and I don't get it right every day. I can tell you that straight up. Not every day is it there. But if you had told me, I remember the days of doing trainings with people and getting 500 PRV a month was one of the must-do things. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's going to be like, oh my gosh, how am I can't imagine ever consistently getting 500 PRV a month. Wow, how do those people do that? I don't even know where that starts. I don't know how to do that. Wow, that would be cool, but no. I'm double that now, consistently. So, it's all about the personal growth that I've been willing to tap into. Allison Dalkey is our superstar director. Anything she offers, I take. She's taught me more, and not just about this business. She's taught me more about being a Christian, being a wife, being a mom. So the personal development is really, really an awesome and amazing part of the business, but it's one of those things that you have to be willing to go out there and get. But I can honestly tell you it will change your business tenfold if and when you're willing to do the little things that are available to you. First and foremost, Scentsy offers one. So if they're offering training on a regular basis, they probably think you need it too for personal growth and development. Every Tuesday morning at 11 o'clock Central Time, there is a training call. I have gotten lax about attending it, to be honest. I should probably get back into that. Excuse me. It's a really good content. It's really business based as far as, how to utilize the tools that Scentsy provides for us to run a good business, how to book parties, how to get sales, how to recruit. It's those basics of business. And maybe I got a little bit jaded that, being in 8 years, I don't need to hear that anymore. Wrong. I still need to hear it. But that's a good way to do. They do a PowerPoint with it, and it's a slideshow. If you're at a computer and you can watch it, that's fine. I can tell you for probably a solid year or so, I would call in from work. So I put the earbuds in the phone and I would listen to the call while I worked doing whatever I needed to do. I just made plans around my day that I would be at my desk. Sometimes I took lunch and listened. Sometimes I would just like, well, this is when I'm going to do my data entry because I'm going to call into the call so I can listen to that. If that's against your work policy, don't do it, because they also upload all of that information to the training center no later than Thursday of the same week. So there's tons and tons of content on there. The other thing to participate in is team meetings. Impossible Unstoppable Stars meets every Thursday, the first Thursday of every month at 7:30 is our team meeting. I also regularly do Facebook Lives just about every week. And at least for the first 3-4 months of this year, I'm going to be doing more Zoom calls, recording trainings, and putting those in units on our Facebook group page. So take advantage of those and learn from them. I try to do content. I say and I'm not the best public speaker, but I try to either tell you guys what's on my heart, help guide you through transition periods with Scentsy. Either it's some hot flash sale we've got going on, or some news coming down the pike from the home office, or anything like that. I try my best to be that liaison for you guys, bridge those waters, give you my experience, that sort of thing. We used to have something every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock, not being done anymore, so I got to take it out of here. Online Steps to Success. Y'all don't even know what it is, so we're not going to talk about it. Not doing that anymore. There's another one called Elevate that still some people in our group. There's some amazing women who are going to be doing a live show every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. That should be in our group. I'm going to post it every Tuesday as a reminder. But the other thing is, there's a lot of content out there to train from. YouTube channels, there's some amazing consultants out there. Laura Godwin, Felicia Fitzgerald, Christina Stainbrook, Katie Farner, Edie Ann Pelletier, Dawn Rust, also known as Spice Dawn. Just some amazing consultants out there who have shared their wealth of knowledge on YouTube channels. Like I've mentioned, there's also the training center. And then there's Facebook. There's a lot of Facebook groups you can join. Learning about Instagram. I'm sure there's stuff on there. I don't Insta as much as other, but there's social media learning as well. And then last but certainly not least, Scentsy actually has social media that you can follow. There's a Scentsy Facebook page. There's a Scentsy Consultants Facebook page. And then Heidi and Orville Thompson, who are our president and CEO and founders of our business, and they are freaking incredible people. Love them to bits. They have a page, and the end of every month they do a live on there, and Orville shares like real-time legit numbers for how we did on that day, how we did on the month compared to year over year or month over month, or we had our best year ever or the best month ever or any of that. I mean, it's really amazing how transparent they are with that kind of information, and they're really fun to get to know, to see their personality, and just see how much they love. They read the comments and they're trying to shout out anything that we're sharing on there, whether it's end of month promotions or end of trip qualifying, who's earning a trip, whatever the case may be. They're just amazing people, and you really get to know the heart of Scentsy by learning the heart of Heidi and Orville through those end of month lives. I highly recommend them. And the other thing about learning is books. There's a ton of books out there to read. I'm currently reading The Wisdom of Walt. I am a Disney nerd. I love Disney and all things Disney and Disney and Disney and Disney. Love it, love it, love it. And so Morgan actually gifted me that book, and I'm reading through it. Mary Christensen has an incredible series of books for direct sales, how to be a direct selling superstar, how to be a network marketing superstar, how to be a recruiting superstar. So it's all how to be something superstar. It's a really, really easy read. You can totally do a chapter a week if you wanted to. You probably do a chapter a day for reals, and it wouldn't be difficult at all. Really, really good books. Sarah Robbins also has a good book out, and I can't think of the name of it. How to Rock Your Network Marketing Business. That's the name of it, because she's rocking Robbins. So those are some good ones. There's also just a lot out there. If you search on Amazon for direct sales, a lot of good books out there if you're a reader, or if you want to do Audible, or any of that kind of stuff. And one thing I probably need to add, podcasts. Allison Dalkey recommends Jenna Kutcher's The Gold Digger podcast. There's a lot of content on there about how to run online marketing business, social media marketing business. The other one that she recommends is, I can't think of the name of it. I have to look. I haven't listened to them yet. Oh, Build Your Tribe from okay, I don't want to see that. It's called Build Your Tribe, and it's Shailene Johnson and her brother or her son or something. So those are good ones. Gold Digger and Build Your Tribe, and then the other one I recommend if you are a leader, if you have a team, and frankly, it's just good information, even if you're not a leader yet, is the Leadership Podcast by Craig Rochelle. He's my senior pastor at church, so the church references that I made is from him. He has a really, really good leadership podcast. It's not like overly preachy or anything like that. It actually references what he does, how he leads church, but it's not like a preachy sort of thing. And if you're a Rachel Hollis fan, you know that there is the Rise podcast, and her and her husband Dave do the Rise Together podcast. I haven't gotten all of that. There's one on here from Amy Porterfield called Online Marketing Made Easy as well. So podcasts are kind of the new wave thing for me. I'm just kind of sort of getting into them. Hey, Deb. I'm actually thinking about bringing my treadmill back in here to do listen to podcasts while I walk, but I haven't got there yet. But there's tons of good content out there on podcasts and books. Again, it's all about whatever works best for you. If you're a podcast person, find some podcasts. If you're a reader, read. If you like to watch the content, go to YouTube. Whatever fits your personality is what you should do. So I actually have just a few minutes before I have to be done. I am going to kind of recap what I talked about. Number one, I want to go slow so you can take notes. Number one, move beyond your friends and family. Your friends and family are not going to be the bread and butter of your business. You have to meet more people. Best, not necessarily best, some really good ways to meet new people. Have parties. Make sure your host is inviting people that you don't already know. Ask the people who are already buying from you to give you referrals to people. If they don't want to do a party, say, well, can you refer me to 10 friends? Another thing, doing events, doing vendor fairs, craft fairs, art shows, whatever you want to call it. Find some cheap ones in your area. Do those. You can totally use your starter kit. Don't have to have a ton of stock. To do an event, branding. Get yourself a purse or a cup or a cap or something. Put something on your car. Play with your vinyl machines. Something along those lines, so that when you're out and about in the world, if somebody needs a Scentsy consultant and they see Scentsy in your aura, then they can say, hey, do you sell Scentsy? Now, one of the things I didn't mention earlier, make sure when you're branded that you have something with you, whether it's catalogs or it's product sheets or it's business cards or it's samples or it's all of the above. Have something you can hand to them when they say, hey, I couldn't help but notice your cap. Are you a Scentsy consultant? Wow, do you happen to have a catalog with you? Because I could sure use one. My Scentsy consultant could. So make sure you have those. Parties, referrals, events, branding, and then samples. Use your samples in whatever ways work best for you. If it's handing out to samples to strangers, more power to you. I can't do it. For me, I drop them in the mail to keep them coming back for more. So move beyond friends and family, parties, referrals, events, branding, and samples. Okay. Organization. Find the system that works for your personality, whether it's laptop, desktop, phone, pen, or paper. what works best for you, because the only true system that works is the one that you are going to use. What do you need to have organized in your systems? A way to do follow-up, because you need to stay in touch with those customers, make sure they like the product, see if they need anything else, space it out. Keep track of your expenses. That'll help you out when the tax man comes knocking. Keep track of the tasks, what you want to do every day, every month, and every day, every week, and every month. Because successful people do consistently what other people only do occasionally. And by other people, I mean non-successful. And then maybe a way of keeping track of your customer info beyond the workstation. That's kind of that's up to you kind of thing. I used to keep track of my customer info better, and then I used it for my follow-up system. And like I told you guys, I've kind of switched to trusting Maven at this point. And then learning personal growth development. Easy ways to do those. The Tuesday trainings, Tuesday morning, 11 o'clock Central Time. You register on the home page of the workstation. If you need help finding that, let me know. Team meetings. I'm Possible Unstoppable Stars has their team meeting the first Thursday of every month at 7:30. If you're on that page, you will receive an invite through Facebook, and then the actual video is on the main page. So it's easy to find, and it's easy to search if you miss it, because it's always automatically reported. And then there is a new thing coming, new as of January 2019. It's called Elevate. It's a Facebook group taking the place of something that is no longer happening, Online Steps to Success. Although, if you're just looking for content, the Online Steps to Success page is still in existence. There are a ton of good videos on there to watch. They're not going anywhere. They're trainings kind of like this that they were done on Facebook. They're not going anywhere. They're just not doing new content on that page. So you could still use it for a while. Elevate will be new. The link for that will be appearing on our team page. I'm quite positive of that as they get started, and every Tuesday when they meet. I do Facebook Lives on a pretty regular basis, about once a week. Watch those. If you can't watch live, watch the recording. Scentsy has social media. They're on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Follow the Scentsy page, Scentsy Family Consultants page, and follow Heidi and Orville Thompson page for good information. Podcasts are kind of the digital way of learning stuff. And then books. Maybe that's a little old school for some of you. That's my cup of tea. One of the things I didn't mention on here is events. There are 2 annual Scentsy sponsored events. One in the spring called the World Tour, which is coming up here shortly, end of January through the middle of February. They hit the road and come and get close to as many of us consultants as they possibly can. And it's a day full of training, and you get product kits and that sort of thing. It's a really fun opportunity to network with consultants in your region, as well as meet home office staff who kind of run the day. And then there is what we call Scentsy Family Reunion. It is middle of summer, usually July. This year it's end of July, 1st of August. Somewhere mid to end July, there is a Scentsy Family Reunion. And then is our giant, big annual convention event. It's a multi-day event. So much fun. They get world-class speakers to come in and talk to us. You also hear from consultants. They get recognized, all of our annual awards. It's really fun. I mean, there's always good entertainment too. So it's really fun few days with your fellow Scentsy sisters and misters, and I always recommend going to events because they're an investment, but they're always a good investment, and it's a tax write-off for that travel. I'll be honest, my husband and I often use those as just a couple getaways that we can use as a tax write-off for next year. So we go to everything. We go to all the trainings, go to everything we're supposed to go to, but it's also a good way to get away from the family and spend some time thinking about where we want to take our business in the short term and the long term. Okay, we are right at an hour, and I hope it was helpful for you. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. Most likely you are in our group, and you can message me through our group page, and I will get back to you just as soon as possible. Mwah! Thanks for tuning in and watching, and have a great day.